Hear me now, hear me out. I really wanted to make a song, right? I really wanted to make a song, and I already started, and maybe this is a song. Who is to say what is a song and what isn't? And I've really tried to lie down, and now I got a bit restless. Because I'm stuck, you see. It's a very important topic to me. Sexuality and spirituality. Because please explain something to me. And if you cannot explain this to me, then ask yourself how you feel about certain things. How do we as humans, as human beings, as conscious human beings, how are we supposed to engage with men and women? Are we supposed to live polygamy and just love and have sex with anyone? Or are we supposed to be monogamous and feed all our love into one family? Now, I can only speak to you from my own personal experience. And my own personal experience is as such as follows. And I have already discussed this topic to a somewhat almost adequate extent. But I have said at a certain point in my life, I have said, the next woman I sleep with is going to be my wife. And then I met a woman, a young woman, who you may say just awoke, and I have had sex with her. But then life separated us. And now the question I'm asking is, what does that mean? Does it mean that when there's love, there's love? She doesn't respond to me at all. I send her many emails, she never responds. I feel desperate. As much as I try to live like a monk, I feel like there is an itch I cannot scratch. I cannot stretch it out. I need to sleep with a woman. Now, I meet sometimes women, and today I asked one of them if she maybe wants to just have contact. I could invite her for dinner. I'm just gonna be a little bit open about this. I don't have to go into detail, right? And I felt like there was a good vibe between us. Now, what does that mean? Because I've been thinking, I'm really good now. Because now I have a wife, because I said the next woman I sleep with is going to be my wife. But she doesn't want it. She didn't want me really when I was angry. She also didn't really want me when I was happy. She also didn't want me when I was sad. Right? There was always some reason why she pushed me away. And I've been really trying. But the truth is, she just doesn't want it. And I've been trying to convince myself, yeah, she wants it, she just doesn't know it. And all because we sat in front of each other, she looked me in the eyes, and she thought she saw her husband. And I wanted to give that to her. And I gave her who I am. All of it, all my emotions, my anger, a lot of anger. And she just says nothing. So how much as a human being are you supposed to sacrifice yourself and say, yeah, I think this woman is supposed to be my wife, while in truth, she isn't? Because if she would be your wife, she would take responsibility for the relationship And no matter how hard it is, she would make sure that the conversation at least keeps going. Nothing is happening. We're talking now almost over a year. And I'm now at the verge where I say I've had enough. This is it. When I think of her, the only thing that I imagine is just slapping her in the face. That's how angry I am. Because I feel like, again, I have fallen for someone. You know, you can't say the love brought me a long way. I really thought she was it. I put a lot of hope in this. And now it turns out it was just another pile of bullshit. Now you could say maybe I'm just being really impatient. Or maybe I just finally woke up to the truth that I feel like I want to see at the moment, which is I actually don't really like her. I try to be nice to her, so I tried to talk myself into loving her. And I gave her many chances. I said many times to her that she's a coward, that she should take responsibility for her feelings, even if that would mean telling me, I have the feeling you're an asshole. You know, at least that much you deserve from a person that says, I'm spiritual, yeah? And I wanted love. But love isn't just about all is nice. Now maybe that's what I want. You know, I just want sex now. I want physical contact with a woman. And one reason why I keep also thinking that I really need this is because I'm really tense. And when I listen to from Carlos Castaneda, the audiobooks, when Don Juan says that a warrior needs a woman sometimes, it speaks to me somewhere. I'm really, I'm going insane, and there are some things where I say, why do I have to deny myself everything? Well, because I don't know, and I'm afraid that I feel like I've promised something, but what have I promised? The only promise I can actually make is that I stay true to my feeling, and my feeling says I hate this woman, so I open up to another one and just see where that's gonna get me. Now the scary part is, if I open up to another woman, what's gonna happen? Is she gonna get pregnant? Are we going to have sex? Maybe we won't even. Maybe we just meet and spend time with each other. Maybe we don't click, but I feel like we've clicked already. And then you think about, what about sexual diseases? What about this? What about that? There are so many obstacles in my mind that complicate everything all the time. I feel like I want to be with a woman. Then I think about, my parents are paying my apartment. Can I even bring a woman in here? What about my neighbors? What are they going to think? What is she going to think because I don't have a couch? I don't have chairs. Is she going to like it? Does she like the way I smell because I don't brush my teeth like most people? Right. I have so many insane insecurities that I'm trying to live freely, but as soon as I take one step, I'm walking every time against a giant billboard. And every time there's a new billboard. Right now I walk and I hit my head against a billboard, and the billboard says, your breath stinks. But if it would really stink, people would signal it to me. Yeah? It's like, people could signal me all kinds of things, but actually they don't. Most of the things that I think is just my assumptions. So what if some young and confused girl looked me in the eyes and said, he's my husband? Because if she doesn't put in the work so that I also will be her husband, then what good does it do? Maybe this was just a delusion, wishful thinking, and I, all this time, tried to punish myself for wanting to be with another woman. I really tried to punish myself over and over again. I didn't go out anymore because I was so afraid of being with another woman because I thought she's my wife. And you know what I think? She's already gone a long time. You know? I slept with her once. She took what she had and she just jumped from one penis onto the other, onto the next, onto the next. And here I am at home crying about having lost the love of my life. And at one point I just had to say, stop. Because no woman should have such power over you that even from a distance she can basically castrate you. So at this point all I can say is, yeah, I really hate you for this. Because you've tortured me from a distance. You know, it's like playing hot and cold with somebody. It's not nice. I opened up, she just shut me out. You know, you sleep with the woman, there's a kind of a bargain, right? That at least you stay connected. You sleep with a man, for me this means something. If I open up to one woman, then I make sure I wait till it's over and then I move on. If a child comes out of this, then we're gonna be man and wife. And maybe there won't come a child out of this. And which would then mean what it would be simply a man and a woman coming together to heal and connect in a sexual way, to express their emotions physically in a sexual way. That is what I'm really craving for. And I thought, now I'm spiritual, I cannot do these things anymore, I have to live my life kind of a straight edge. And this is like literally I'm beating my own spirit to the pulp because I'm denying myself sexual contact. Because in a way I've been screwed over by women so many times that I just think, what's the point of going through that again? Well, the point is, you just give it another chance. But I've waited long enough to let this pass, to make sure she really doesn't want it. She really doesn't want it. I've made sure. I've sent her books, I've sent her letters, I've sent her all kinds of things. So I can say now I'm sure at this point that she doesn't want it, that she's really moved on. And whether or not that's just an assumption, that's the feeling I have, because to me she's literally dead. To me she's a phony. Right? And that hurts. That's a dagger that sits really deep. But all I can say is, I think I might have learned my lesson. Yeah, it's time to move on. And that still, to me, is really painful. But I also feel like if I would see her now, I would probably strangle her. Or maybe she would strangle me. I don't know, right? It's really complicated. I don't understand love at all. I don't know what it means. Maybe she did see me as her husband. And maybe this is this kind of spiritual thing where at the moment it just doesn't work between you, and both of you just have to have other partners so that you can be together in the future. But to be honest, the feeling I have is when it's over, it's over. When I make this step, I just say that's it, because I've literally had enough. No, I tried, I feel like I did my best, but there's only so much I can do. I've asked her many times to contact me because I'm just running on dry ground and there's just nothing. There's just nothing. And this is how selfish women are these days. So what do you do instead? You rather look for somebody who wants to open up to you. And maybe she doesn't even want to open up, right? We just exchanged emails. I don't know what's gonna come out of it. Maybe she is gonna change her mind, right? Maybe all kinds of things are going to happen. But at least from my side, I can say, yeah, sometimes you just have to let things go. And it's really painful, but you cannot force people to love you. And even though, even while I'm saying this, I have no idea what's gonna come out of it. It might be that I contact her and she says, yeah, you know what, I'm actually not interested. And that's just what you have to take then. That's just what you have to take then, right? Maybe she would say, yeah, I feel a little bit pressured. When you asked me, I felt a little bit pressured. That's the fear I have. But I also have to say, I actually don't give a crap anymore. Something comes your way. Yeah, she says something about tantric massage and I'm all game, right? It's like, that's the signal I needed, I'm just gonna go for it, I don't really care. I find you attractive, you say something that I like, I'm just gonna ask you, do you wanna have dinner sometime? That's all that I needed. And then you just see where it goes from there. And you basically just have to keep the conversation going, right? And then you just see, right? You just see. You just let it happen. And that sounds so stupid, it sounds so cheesy. But what I also realize is I need a bit of romance in my life. I really need a bit of romance. I need some kind of female, soft kind of love. I really need that because that's something I cannot give myself. And with being that said, you will receive no further updates from me on this matter. All I said was that sometimes you need to open up to something else and just see where it is going. And spirituality is basically a religion on its own. Most of the knowledge is lost. I have no idea what it means to relive. I have to figure that out for myself. I just have to live according to my own nature. And when my nature is telling me you need to be with a woman, then you look for one that speaks to you. And then you make a move. And that's all I can say to that. Everything else is my own private life. That's something I will keep close to the chest, and that's important. Because as much as I like transparency, there also has to be a limit to what you share with other people. And the reason I chose these videos was because there's a storm raging inside of me. And maybe that's me opening up to my feminine side and feeling for the first time how much power that holds. And sometimes you really have to work with that. Anyway, I've said already too much, if that is possible. Cheers.